Okay, so on average, when you're making LB broth bottles, right? There's usually 5 bottles you're making, but in this case, I'm only giving you one example. So our conversions and our numbers are going to be different. In the protocol, it says that to make 5 bottles, you need 500 milliliters, okay? Which is what this bigger flask is for, okay? Now, each liter or each bottle is going to have 100 milliliters, okay? And as well as 2 grams of powder. How do we get those numbers? Okay, well, once again, you want to read your labels, okay? You want to read the LB broth, and you want to turn it to the back, and it says dissolve 20 grams in 1 liter, okay? Right now, I only have 500 milliliters, which is what we usually work with. 500 milliliters is half of 1 liter, okay? Now, if we're going to break down 1 liter to half, we also need to break down 20 grams half. So that's 10, okay? 10 grams. And like I said earlier, if we're working with 5 bottles and we have 10 grams, well, let's count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, all right? But we're only gonna make 1 bottle, so I need 2 grams. So I'm gonna take 2 grams out of this bottle, place it in my waiting boat, and I'm gonna need 100 milliliters of liquid, because that's all I'm gonna need in 1 bottle, right? So I'm gonna actually do this. As I'm doing this, keep in mind we have our digital scale right over here. You wanna tare it. Then place your waiting boat onto the digital scale. That digital scale is gonna have a number. We don't wanna add that number onto our powder number, so we will need to tare it. Here's our magnetic plate. This is actually a magnetic plate that actually stirs the liquid and makes sure the powder is being dissolved. I'll show you that earlier too. So I'm gonna need 2 grams of powder. Now 2.00 is fine, 2.03 is fine, 2.5 is the cutoff, okay? Make sure you don't go further up. Right now I'm on 220. So I'm gonna make sure I get that powder out of there. 211, 202, that's good. Place this there. Actually, I'm gonna move myself over. I always like you guys to be organized and clean. It's usually what I do. Make sure I place my 100 milliliters into the flask up here. There you go. As you guys can see, I'm gonna tilt this and slide the bar down. I don't want you guys to drop it down because I have a daydream that sometimes, you know, the glass might be weak and it might crack, okay? Keep that in mind. I'm gonna turn it on, and I'm gonna make sure that it's on medium, okay? Sometimes it takes a while to stir, but that's okay. Make sure that it's stirring. As you guys can see, this is a smaller flask than the bigger flask. Why? Is because I'm using less liquid, okay? Only use the bigger flask when you actually have to use more, or actually 500 milliliters of water. It's stirring. I'm at 204 for my powder. I'm gonna tear that out. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squeeze the magnetic bolt just like this, and I'm gonna slowly pour it in there, okay? Now periodically, I'm gonna let it dissolve. Why does this help? Because it's actually dissolving the powder, and we're not having a lot of chunks of powder. It's dissolving. So I pour the powder in and I let go, let it dissolve, pour the powder in again, let it go. Okay? And at this point I'll almost pretty much be done. Now I'm gonna grab my water here, and I'm gonna make sure that I pour out the extra residue of powder. There you go. And at that point, you're pretty much done. You're gonna throw your waiting boat in the trash, place all of your materials back, and this is how you dissolve the powder as for making LB broth.